Hello, my beautiful friends. 2 days ago, I posted a video talking about how releasing trauma is really a shifting of a state of consciousness. Someone asked me how to shift their state of consciousness. Um, and really, honestly, I think that every day we're shifting our state of consciousness millions of times, just very, very subtly. But how do we get those larger shifts in our state of consciousness? Well, I think that it comes down to the fact that we need pattern interrupts in our life. We go through our days pretty much getting into ruts of doing the same things repeatedly. We go to the same workspace. We have the same morning routines. We drive the same roads every day to get to the same places. And we get to a point where we get a little bit complacent. Instead of interacting with things, we just kind of react and regurgitate in ways that are the same way we have done it, the day before that and the day before that and the day before that. But when something comes along and causes us a massive pattern interrupt, it changes our perspective and makes us look at things in different ways. And trauma itself is actually a major pattern interrupt. But how do we intentionally shift our state of consciousness without having to experience massive trauma? I think there's so many different ways to do it, to practice things that allow us to become more intentional in the way we're interacting with the world. Practicing things like meditation and utilizing things like sound healing. It can be really, really powerful. Getting out into nature, movement practices like yoga or qigong or any of that stuff can be really, really powerful. But it all comes down to you. I can't tell you how to shift your state of consciousness. I can tell you things that have worked for me, but what works for you? What is going to interrupt your patterns? What's going to get you to actually interact in a way with the world where you're a little bit more conscious of what you're doing, where you're interacting instead of reacting? Because really, when it comes down to it, that is how you start shifting your consciousness, and it starts to build you become more present and more aware, and it steamrolls into a place where you start to become more aware, more opened up, and start to have higher connections, higher states of consciousness. And, that's when that starts happening, that's when you start realizing the triggers that those past traumas are giving you. Because really, when it comes down to it, what the trauma that we're carrying is a past event that we're reacting to in the present moment as if it is still happening to us now. And just realizing that and recognizing that is the first step to actually being able to release the trauma. But in order to do that, you need to not be just reacting to the world. You need to be interacting and be present. And that is the first step, But ultimately, how you shift your state of consciousness, I can't tell you that. That is inside of you, and on some level, you already know that. It's already there. It's already inside of you. So how do you shift your state of consciousness? I'm asking you.